Hey, I'm Apple and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be going over a skill/tactic that's usually overlooked by new players but is an absolute must for playing Airsoft effectively, and that's peeking corners. Whether you're the most unprepared rental with a hoodie and a musty M4 you bought from your buddy Justin down the street, or the most overprepared milsimmer whose only gear you use are Crye G4s and plate carriers, everyone's going to need to know a little bit about this. I'll be going over many different ways to peek corners as well as different scenarios in which you can use them. And let's go. Before we dive into peeking corners, I want to talk a little bit about ready positions, which are basically different ways you hold your gun. There's a lot of them out there and we all know their place, but I'm going to go over the more of the essential ones that you're going to find yourself using in Airsoft specifically. First ready position is called collapse low ready. This is an easy one. Basically, you're going to hold your gun like normal, but take it, bring it down, and tuck it to either left or right, depending on if you're left or right-handed. I'm right-handed, so it's going to be tucked down to my left. You're going to be using this one when you're like talking to your buddies or waiting for the game to start. So in terms of peeking corners, you're not gonna find yourself using this one. All right, second ready position is low ready. Basically, you're just holding it like this, but you're gonna have it pointed down at about a 30 to 45 degree angle or so, somewhere around there. When you wanna shoot, you're just gonna quickly bring it back up, pull the trigger. Advantages of this one are gonna be easily being able to pop back up and shoot people quickly. You can also do this one holding it at 0 degrees if you'd like, but your arms are probably gonna get a little tired after a while. In terms of peeking corners, this one's an absolute must. Third ready position is high ready. This one is a little bit trickier. What you're doing, hold your gun up like this, tuck the stock into your workspace, and hold like normal. Advantages of this one are being able to get really close to a wall or a corner, and if you're in a big group, like in a squad with some buddies, you're not gonna be accidentally shooting them since your gun is pointed up towards the ceiling. Although be aware, since your gun's pointed up, it's gonna take more time to get it back in your shoulder to be able to shoot someone. And in terms of peeking corners, this is also an important one. Some tips before we start are to never make contact with the wall because this severely limits your mobility. Don't ever put your back to the wall either. In this clip here, if this guy could have shot an illustrator, I would have died because I couldn't get back to cover fast enough. Another tip is gonna be to swap hands and shoulders when you need to. It's basically going from your dominant hand and shoulder to your other hand and shoulder. Now, everyone is going to be worse with their opposite hand, so if you feel you need to, you can just swap to your opposite shoulder and you can still do just as fine. Also, try to peek over cover as little as possible. It's pretty hard to go from high ready to low ready and squatting to standing efficiently. All right, let's get into the fun part. Let's say our first scenario. We're at an outdoor field and there's a guy at the end of this wall of the corner that we're peeking. Let's say you want to take one shot at him. So, bags are empty, gun is safe, no batteries in. We're good to go for this. To do this, we're gonna get into low ready at a reasonable distance from the wall. We're gonna start by bringing our gun up, pushing ourselves out into the open. Now, we're gonna take our foot, we're gonna stick it out, and then once our foot hits the ground, we're gonna shoot. And once you shoot, you're gonna use your foot to push yourself back into cover. This form is meant for quick single shots. Now, let's say you wanna take multiple shots. So for this, you're gonna get into low ready as usual. You're gonna start by bringing your knee inwards. And by doing that, you can easily lean out, shoot a couple times, and then bring yourself back in. Now, since we're playing Airsoft, we have to adjust for hop up, which will throw your BBs off its flight path once the gun is tilted. So, we do, basically, you just tilt it back until it's perfectly straight, and you're good. Okay, scenario number 2. We're at an indoor field, and there's gonna be a guy at the end of the wall, the corner we're peeking. And as before, we wanna take one shot at him. Now, since we're playing in an indoor field, our ready position is going to depend greatly on the type of indoor field we're playing at. So for example, Tac City is a tournament style field, so you're going to have a lot more space to work with. So you'll be able to get away with using low ready just fine. But let's say we're playing at somewhere like Battle Lab, which is a kill house themed field, so you're not going to have as much space to work with. So for this one, we're going to get into high ready, and it's going to be the same drill as before. You're going to bring your gun up, start to peek out. Once your foot hits the ground, shoot. Then use your foot to push yourself back into cover. All right? Now let's say you want to shoot multiple times, so it's going to be the same drill as before, except in high ready. So, gun up, knee inwards, shoot a few times, bring it back into high ready. Remember to correct for hop up. All right, last thing I want to talk about today is another ready position, but not for rifles, but for sidearms. I have my high capper here, it's safe, empty bags, we're good to go. So, this ready position is going to be called compressed ready. So, you're gonna hold like normally, but you're gonna bring it close to your body, but not too close so the slide doesn't hit you in the chin. That would suck, trust me. And you're gonna tilt it sideways. Now, I know I talked about having to correct your gun for hop up, but we're not gonna be shooting in this position. This is gonna be our neutral position. So the reason why I'm tilting the gun like this is so that my wrists are in a more flexible position. compared to something like this where your wrists are more stressed. Swapping hands and shoulders is much easier with a sidearm because you don't have a stock to worry about. Unless you're one of these guys, don't be like these guys. All right, it's gonna be the same scenario, same drills before. It's gonna be a guy on the wall in the other corner you're peeking. Same drill, let's go. Personally, I don't like taking single shots with pistols. It just kind of feels weird in my opinion. Others would probably disagree with me. All right, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Did I go over everything? No. Am I going to? No, but there is one more thing I want to tell you about. So, May 6th, I am heading out to Tax City for the e-bike fan appreciation event. There are 2 sessions. I'm going to the 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. one. So if you want to come meet me or Chase, be featured in the gameplay video, or receive a free shout out, all you gotta do is come on out and have some fun with me. I will be there. All right, that's everything from me. I hope to see you guys at Tax City very soon.